To whom are you referring, Captain Williams?
Alice Piasecki, Colonel.
I know that so many other people could relate because it's just such a prevalent issue, and there are so many people who are out there fighting. It really just, it impacts me.
Whether life imitates art or the other way around, we want to stand with you to tell the story, to end. Don't ask, don't tell.
Amen. Thank you.
You can't overemphasize how important it is to see representations of ourselves in mainstream media. Even in the most accepting, diverse environment, it can be fairly lonely to be gay in a straight world. And I think the idea that you had sort of this group of friends who you checked in with once a week for so many years made you feel, I think, a little less alone. No matter how many gay friends you had, it just sort of gave you a window into a new community.
I think one of the real great gifts of the L Word was that it has totally blown the doors off of arcane stereotypes of the lesbian community.
I remember the backlash that came out as soon as the show aired, and all of a sudden I was reading all these really kind of angry press about lesbians do not look like that.
I think a lot of the discussion about, oh, there really aren't lesbians like this is just purely aspirational and pure fantasy, were mostly written by people who don't know that many lesbians.
Well, I think the show's definitely got rid of the notion that everybody's always in flannel.
It showed to America that some of us wear tool belts, but some of us also wear Donna Karan. And it introduced America to the fact that we come in all different sizes, shapes, colors, wardrobes, and it told America that we can be sexy. Up to that point, with the remarkable exception of Ellen DeGeneres, we were, maybe if we were lucky, the gay best friend, maybe the neighbor next door, more likely the tortured school teacher or the closeted librarian. And more often than any of those, we were completely invisible.
People have found out about lesbian lives. It might not be the full spectrum of lesbian lives, but it's definitely representative of some lesbians. And it's important for people to know that there are lesbians in the world. We need to be very clear with people about who we are, and they'll be all right, and we'll be all right. Everybody will live.
I think one of the great things about the L Word is it brings people into a story of people's lives. It really is not about being gay. It's about being human. It's about getting a job. It's about losing a job. It's about losing a love. It's about gaining a love. It's about all the kinds of things we as human beings experience in life.
I don't think that gay people feel quite as integrated in society as we may look or appear to be. So, gay TV has a place, and hopefully there will be a lot more shows targeted for this audience, by, for, and about this audience that straight audiences end up coming to and liking, but, we'll get the secret jokes better.
The L Word, with all its potent characters, appeared on the horizon of a once representational desert. And the enormity of this sudden visibility became clear at fan conventions, on message boards, and to the filmmakers.
No, but would you sign my underwear for me?
Miss Fairbanks has an appointment, okay?
Excuse me.
I got followed through a grocery store and someone walked up to me and was just like, I just want you to know this really means the world to me. And I sat my mom down and watched the show with her and asked her if she liked the show, and my mom said yes, and I said good, because that's me, and that's how I came out to my mother. It's like, oh, wow, that's powerful.
That's such a huge part of why we would not be ourselves, is that we would be rejected by our families. All of us who embody who we are and then go and face the people we need in life to know are out there, like family, have faith and just be strong in ourselves. I mean, that's what changes the world.
I did this little documentary about a year and a half ago. We went to New York and we interviewed a group of kids who were all gay, and they all happened to be homeless, and different varying degrees of homelessness. Not only was that a really profound experience, but it also showed me what kind of impact the show had. They all said it helped them to a varying degree. And I thought, wow, well, good. Because that's the reason why the show is on the air. And that makes me feel like I did my job.
My husband was invited to a party, and there was this young girl reading. On his way out, the girl gave him this letter and said, can you give this to your wife? And of course, As soon as I read it, I just started crying. She was thanking me for the show and telling me how much it meant to her and how it really was a lifeline. She was emblematic of all the girls that I wanted to do the show for. And I felt so honored to have been of some help to someone.
It's kind of incredible to think how many people, it's not just in the US, it's not just, you know, in North America, it's like everywhere.
Me and my girlfriend went to a lesbian bar in Tokyo.
I met a fan in London who had traveled from Malta.
This American girl comes in and she looks at me and she goes, "You work on the L word."
In Malta, she wasn't allowed to be openly gay in her job.
The L word is not even in Japan yet, but everybody's watched it online or knew about it, and it was this kind of communal coming together on New Year's Eve.
For her, it was a very big deal, and it was quite early on for me as well. I realized that for a lot of people, especially in that situation, it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
This is really touching like every bit of the globe.
That's so huge. Like when you think about that and think about all the people that who feel just a little less alone.
In a society that everybody's been reflected on TV, you've been watching TV since you're a little kid, and you've almost never seen yourself. And then all of a sudden there's like a TV show that reflects you. I think for our society, it's a really powerful thing.
Sunday night offered a watering hole, with friends collecting in numbers small and large to watch the series.
Anyone can relate to a group of friends spending time together and sharing such intimate aspects of themselves with one another. I mean, I think that's one of the universal themes.
It's more fun to experience fun with more people. My friends and I would gather to watch 90210 in Melrose Place, which is how I relate to the viewing parties.
For many years, I complained that I never got invited to an L-word party. I did finally discover the Falcon, where there's the Sunday night LA gathering.
It is Sunday night. I had to come for my girls.
I mean, we're talking about thousands of people would show up, and they hoot and holler at the screen.
Normally, you only have that as a theatrical experience, you know, if you like sneak into your own movie and watch it.
I was sitting next to a group of girls who didn't know I was there, and I was trying to read their lips to determine whether they were Jodie fans or Tina fans.
I'd like to make a toast.
I'd like to make a toast.
And they looked, and they were like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Hi, it's me." The Tina supporters didn't change their mind, even though I was there.
It's nice to finally meet you, Jodie.
You get to see what they hate, and you get to see what they make fun of. The best Sunday night gathering is definitely at Kate's house.
I cook and Rose cooks, and we all, you know, collaborate and you know, have this really yummy meal.
And then make fun of it ourselves.
There's so many issues that the show touched upon and then sort of just floated away.
Things that we know in real life become big problems or big issues for a person would just sort of like, oh, vanish, and then you'd show up in your Prada dress the next morning at the Planet and never talk about it again.
Any storylines that should have been handled differently? Can I plead the fifth on that one?
Jenny cutting herself.
I can't tell you how many jokes I've heard, thank God there's no cutting.
Shane used to have a big drug problem, I guess. I was on pills for a while, and then that magically disappeared.
It could be these new drugs I'm on.
Dogs went missing.
Why do you pee on people?
Girlfriends went missing.
She disappeared into the abyss of the L-word actors.
My sexuality went missing.
I want a boyfriend who's straight, or I want a lesbian who's a girl.
There have been some beautiful moments that have been very touching, but a lot of the time we're like, oh my God.
It more becomes like a thing of like us making fun of each other and just pointing out really goofy things.
Watching the show with the girls was like being at a roast.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's Alicia. Like, Alicia's just like,